What up, Fightful fam, and welcome to your UFC Vegas 23 Marvin Vettori, Kevin Holland watch along. I'm Shaquille Majouri, joined today by horror movie aficionado Kristen King of Bloody Elbow. How's it going, Kristen?
It's going great. We are watching some good fights, and what better way?
Fun card.
Yeah, right. What better way to finish it out with the Fightful fam? I'm happy to be here with you guys.
I appreciate that very much. Nice to have you guys. We're streaming today on Fightful MMA's YouTube, Sean Ross Sapp's Twitter, my own Twitter. We will be back on the main channel next week, but when WrestleMania comes a call-in, we get a subpar main event like Vettori versus Holland. So this is where we are for the day. We thank you guys for being here. If you're watching this on Periscope, I do recommend heading over to the live chat on YouTube. That's where you get the most amount of engagement. No Facebook this week because Sean got banned temporarily for saying mean things to people. That's Sean's.
Should I ask what mean things he was saying?
I'm not going to say the words this early into the stream out of fear of getting demonetized, but perhaps I'll let me read it and decide whether or not I'll get fired for repeating it.
The anticipation is killing me. I can't wait to see it.
Speaking of anticipation, is it safe to say that you are picking Marvin Vettori, the pillar of calm Buddhist energy, to beat Kevin Holland tonight?
Yeah, it seems like it. I think that, all respect to Kevin Holland for taking this on short notice, especially after his last fight with Derek Brunson didn't go quite the way that anyone was expecting. But man, there's just something about Marvin Vettori. I think I told you this when the Vettori and Till fight was still happening, when we did the media picks. I was like, there's something about Marvin Vettori that I'm just like, he's just in full-on smash mode. I feel like anybody...
He's waiting, dude.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, anybody that comes in front of him, he's just going to be so aggressive and so mean. And, there's beef, apparently, with him and Kevin Holland.
Who does Marvin Vettori not have beef with, though?
That's a great point. But, I guess that motivates him to perform better because he's just an absolute animal. So I have to pick him, but I wouldn't be surprised if somehow, some way, so-called calmer and collected Kevin Holland, right? If he takes it somehow, I wouldn't be surprised. He's very creative, so I guess we'll have to see. But full training camp, Marvin Vettori, I feel like that'd be way bad to pick against. So
yeah, I agree. For me, I think it's not to say that like a focused and a dedicated Kevin Holland can't shore up what cost him in that Derek Brunson fight. My problem is I don't think he can do it on 7 days' notice, give or take, right?
Yeah.
You're in that time, you're not going to see a Kevin Holland that significantly improved his bottom ground game, his takedown defense. There's just not enough time to do that, especially when I don't think he cuts much weight, if any, to make middleweight, but it's just a bad position. I'm glad that he took it. And I was talking to E. Spencer Kite on yesterday's episode of the 1-2 Punch live stream. Head over to Fightful Select for that, folks. I think so long as he comes in here with a serious attitude, which it appears that he will, that was Dana White's biggest gripe with him in that Derek Brunson fight. I don't think anyone, UFC matchmakers included, are expecting Kevin Holland to win this. So I think if he comes in here with the right mindset, no matter what happens, I think the UFC will look at it as, you did us a solid. You had the deck stacked against you here, no sweat. If he comes in here and makes a fool of himself again, then I think you're going to see a very steep regulation in his next fight. So I don't think there's a whole lot that could go wrong for Kevin here, short of the physical damage he might endure.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Kevin has too much to lose. I think he's trying to prove himself a little bit more after that devastating main event loss to Derek Brunson. And like you said, Dana wasn't too happy about that. He said, I think he just had a breakdown. I don't necessarily think that's what it was. Because Kevin had some good moments in that fight. There were a few times where he stunned or tagged Derek Brunson, and I thought it was, that could be it. Because, sometimes Derek Brunson gets hit, and it depends on if he gets on wobbly legs, which it looked like he was for a little bit, but he recovered nicely and just essentially dominated Kevin Holland. So he really has nothing to lose by taking this last noticed fight, I guess. It's going to bum me out because that was the very thing that he was talking about, saying that he needs to work on his ground game. And if you look at him right now, walking into the cage, he's serious, which I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of bummed about, because he's like, I'm not going to change up my talking. I'm not going to change up my energy. And then he comes in a little bit more paused, a little bit more, slower. So hopefully he picks up in the fight again, but he looks ready. I mean, he was basically stripping off articles of clothing on the way to the octagon. So I'm expecting him to try and get back in the good graces of the UFC brass. And this is the perfect fight to do so.
Well, it's funny you mentioned it, because if you are interested in stripping off clothing on your walk to the bedroom, Manscaped has you covered. Flowers are blooming, the grass is growing, and it's time to chop the weeds. Thanks to our sponsor, Manscaped. You can trim your holes safely and efficiently. And we're not talking about the holes in Kevin Holland's game. I am talking about ball trimmers. Manscaped, the global leader in men's below-the-waist grooming, have an exclusive offer for our audience. Use code FIGHTFULMMA to get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. And it actually does us a huge solid, so thank you. Join the other 2 million men who trust Manscaped. They are here to make sure you are trimmed and smelling nice. After all, it's time for some spring cleaning. Spring has sprung, and Manscaped has the best tools to get you ready. Now, let me tell you, and I'm being 100% honest here, I had this exchange with my girlfriend the other day, and full disclosure, it's not the first time that she's looked at me and said, Shaq, I can smell your balls from here. But it's the first time she said it with a smile on her face. Ball deodorant. I didn't believe it, but it is a real thing. Let me tell you all about the great products. Have you heard of their Weed Whacker? This nose and ear trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. No more gross nose hairs flying in the wind. The premium Manscaped Weed Whacker uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotator dual blade system. Manscaped is making whacking your weeds a time to look forward to, delivering maximum confidence while providing hygiene. I know this is a long script they give me, but what are you going to do? Speaking of incredibly hygiene, staying incredibly hygienic, Manscaped has formulations to keep you fresh and ready for everything that comes your way all day. The Crop Preserver, this is what I'm talking about, folks, is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. It's starting to get hot outside, and this is crucial so your balls stop sticking to your leg. That's legit the worst. You'll also find the Crop Reviver spray-on toner for your balls, which will keep you smelling fresh down there, just like spring flowers. Speaking of smelling fresh, complete your grooming game this spring with the new Refined Cologne Signature Scent by Manscaped. This stuff is legit and will have you smelling like royalty. The cologne is light, approachable, and gentlemanly in all the right ways. You'll be the talk of the next quarantine hang. Smell good, feel good this spring. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FIGHTFULMMA at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Let me tell you, I started the day with a compliment on the scent of my testicles, and I ended the day 12 hours later. I look at her and I say, smell my balls.
Oh, and
look, she was as concerned. She had the same look on her face that you probably do during a horror movie. She was not interested in it, Kristen. But I'm telling you, it works.
This is me during a horror movie now, just very stoic. Like, I've seen it all at this point.
You've seen it all. Yeah, well, trust me, she has smelled it all. But this time around, it was all for the best. Fightful MMA, 20% off at manscaped.com. Shout out to our staff writer, Colby. You know what? They're supposed to get a 60-second ad read. They really pack in those 60 seconds.
Oh, that was a wonderful ad. I mean, you know what? Sitting through that, it reminded me of UFC Fort Lauderdale. I was there, and I asked Glover Teixeira. He had like a groin strike or something like that. And I asked him about it, and he goes, yeah, when you get hit in the balls, you don't know anything about that. And I was like, no, I don't know anything about that. Please explain it to me. And he broke it down for me. So that was lovely. I am okay with that kind of talk, I guess. I'm used to it.
Hey, don't sell the women of the world short. You see some cup strikes from time to time, and it doesn't look comfortable. Like, I don't know how you equate one to the other, but it's not like it's not like Superman.
It's funny to me how guys are like, well, why'd they stop the fight? What happened? I'm like, that was a low strike. Like, anybody getting hit in that area sucks. So, of course, they're going to have to stop the fight.
Yes. Well, Kristen, thank you for suffering through that.
It was a joy.
Oh, I'm glad. I gotta get my Sean Ross Sapp on over here. I should have thrown this bad boy on. Just
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at the code, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that code right there.
Yeah, but use Fightful MMA. That's my bad.
There you go.
The wrestling team does not need any more money. Fightful MMA makes us look good. Tag us. Tag Manscaped. This is the one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we got a high production going on here.
That is amazing.
Okay, guys, here we go.
I'm excited. I'm going to do the Kevin Holland hands that he was doing at the weigh-ins.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to have a talk with Manscaped about what 60 seconds means. But I love doing them.
I mean, it's great. You read it. Amazing.
Thank you. I should talk to him because I don't know if I'm allowed to just do it off the cuff and forget about their read, because I think mine is way better.
So wait, you have your own planned one, or you would just
no. Kristen, do not make any mistake about it. My girlfriend has in the past complained about the odor coming from my lower half, and she was thrilled. I can't tell you how thrilled she was when I came home after a 12-hour day smelling like candy.
Oh my God.
This is real, Kristen. There's no joke. It's like,
that's true love right there. That's true love. She appreciates that.
Yes, well, it's like training a dog. You have a lot of positive reinforcement. You're like, oh, that smells so good, Shaq. And then,
oh yeah. Keep using your Manscaped products. There you go.
Yes, guys, it's the best gift you can give your lover this spring. Plus, summer's coming around. You're gonna start seeing people again. They're all gonna look like disheveled, homeless messes. You might as well be the one that smells nice.
There you go. And if you're in like a Floridian area like I am, it's going to be hot and humid. So take care of yourself.
100%. Thank you, Kristen, for
the
ad support here. Guys, we are on the way. The fight has started. Marvin Vettori, Kevin Holland. There's a bit of a delay between us and you guys, just the nature of live streaming. And wow, speaking of someone who needs Manscaped, 30 seconds in, Marvin Vettori decked to the balls, and if he wasn't a happy camper before, I don't think he will be after that.
You have woken up the bull now. Look at him. He's gonna go crazy now. He's pissed. Oh no. Well, he's pissed. More pissed, I guess. I don't know how to say it.
I love it. Yeah, there's. I would love to see. Ooh, wow, that was not even off. Yeah, like that was
right
a
direct
nut shot.
Ouch. Well, you can't have a UFC main event without one of those. So by all means.
While we wait for these guys to recover, have you seen The Lodge?
I have not. No.
Good horror movie. Disturbing. Not scary, but like one of the only times in recent memory where I was genuinely uncomfortable during a horror film. So I'll give you the breakdown off the air.
Oh yeah.
You guys have Amazon Prime Video? Lodge is the way to go. It's got the stuttering kid from It.
Oh yeah. I know him.
Good. He's
very good.
All right, back to the action. Number 10 ranked Kevin Holland opening with some leg kicks. We don't have to do this like play-by-play commentary, but you'd be surprised, especially on Facebook and Periscope, how many people watch these instead of the fights for some reason.
That's interesting. I'm a fan of this kind of programming. I like all this stuff from Fightful, MMA fighting, all those other stuff. So I don't blame them.
No, we don't talk about MMA fighting here.
I mean, everybody in the realm. Come on.
Yes, lots of love to all my colleagues. I was actually talking to we'll get over to it. Marvin Vettori has Kevin Holland against the fence, the body lock. Thus far, it's possible that Kevin has lasted on his feet longer than he did in that Derek Brunson fight.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But I mean, the blueprint is there. If Marvin really wants to go down that route again, I mean, he could definitely do it.
I'm loving these open hand slaps from Holland.
Oh yeah,
because I just can't believe that Vettori takes kindly to him.
Right? Not at all. That's just pissing off the bull even more.
Kevin's looking good.
He is.
Ooh, nice shot by Holland and Vettori, but here we are back in the clinch. 3 minutes, 18 seconds left in the first round. Are you predicting? I know we're both on the Italian dream train here, but are you predicting a finish, or is this going to go 25?
Man, the way that they're both coming out at the moment. Oh, thought he got a takedown. No, he didn't.
Impressive.
I feel like I want to just play it safe and say this is probably going to go all 5 rounds, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends in a finish.
Bro, Marvin Vettori's back is enormous. Like every time. Dude is working out. It is insane.
I wish.
I'm impressed with Holland here, though. It's working. But you see, so here's the thing, though. Like the takedown defense is good, but if he's going to get held against the fence for the next 25 minutes,
that's not going to be a good thing either.
Same way, right?
I will say though, look how long we've made it into the first round. I haven't heard any chirping from Kevin Holland. It's unlike him.
I hope there's a little bit. Like I just want him to be more measured in it.
Me too. He looks like he's going to start in a minute because Marvin is landing. Now he's got to push up against the fence again. I think if Kevin gets more upset throughout the fight, because I feel like he's fighting with his back against the cage, no pun intended at this point. But if he gets more upset, he'll probably start talking to Marvin.
Yeah. And for those of you in your live chat, if you would like a question, statement, concern read on the air, leave us a super chat donation. You can leave $1, you can leave 1,000. I've got my preference, but it is all good. On that note, Marvin Vettori lands his first takedown. Kevin Holland actually trying to get up. He's scooting, he's shrimping, he's got the feet on the hips, he's throwing up kicks. Better. Way better than we saw last time.
He definitely tried to scoot back to the cage, which is good, but Marvin is just such an overwhelming presence. It's very hard to probably get up from underneath.
I was talking to E. Spencer Kite about this on Friday's podcast. It's weird because you had that Israel Adesanya Marvin Vettori fight, and it was a split decision, right? But then they kind of just set Izzy off onto the spaceship. Brad Tavares, Derek Brunson, Anderson Silva, Robert Whittaker.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Marvin Vettori, despite the fact it was a split decision, got like really regulated to like the Cesar Fajeas of the world, not to work his way back up.
Right.
There was a lot of talk at the time that, that was inexperienced Izzy. He's way better now. But we saw in the Jan Blachowicz fight that what Jan was able to do is basically what Vettori was able to do. And so I think with the win here, Vettori is no doubt one more fight away from a title because it appears that there still might be some good competition there.
Yeah, and you know what? Funny enough, I wouldn't be surprised if he were awarded the shot to begin with. I know we have a big middleweight fight coming up next week as well with Robert Whittaker and Kelvin Gastelum. Those guys won a title shot, but Marvin Vettori has a very good resume at this time. And if he gets another solid win against someone like Kevin Holland, who I previously thought was somebody who was going to challenge Izzy for the championship in 2021. Obviously, the year started off not as good as I would hope for someone like Kevin Holland. But man, if Marvin gets it done against the UFC's Breakthrough Fighter of the Year 2020, I wouldn't be surprised. And you know that it's a wonderful setup into that rematch with Izzy. The first fight was a split, very, 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 very close. They have beef. Well, I don't know if I could say that. It's kind of one-sided. It's always been Marvin, talking about like, oh, he's running from me and whatnot. I mean, what better way to settle all of that than get a rematch? So if Marvin looks very good tonight, which he seems to be looking at the moment, wouldn't be surprised if he got awarded the title shot. And maybe it'd be of interest to Izzy since he says he's not really interested in fights like with Robert Whittaker again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out. I know obviously Izzy really wanted the Darren Till fight. That's not going to happen. Probably a win over Till would have done even more for Vettori. It's interesting. I think without a doubt, if Kelvin Gastelum somehow manages to beat Whittaker, you're going to see that Izzy Gastelum rematch because, possibly my favorite fight of all time, fight of the year.
Amazing.
Up there. And I think for Izzy, like he feels like he has nothing to prove with Whittaker. I think he might feel like he still has something to prove against Kelvin Gastelum. But it's a good problem to have, right? Lots of viable contenders, lots of interesting matchups. And you still have people like Darren Till, Jared Cannonier, Paulo Costa, Derek Brunson waiting in the wings. So I feel like now that Izzy is focused again on 185, there's like no shortage of really good matchups.
Absolutely.
Holland's looking really good, open in the second.
He caught him with, oh my goodness. Oh. And it's crazy because Izzy, as much as he would probably like to avoid it, he's going to meet a lot of the people that he already beat. And there's just nothing he can do about that. Sure, he'd like Jared Cannonier. Sure, he'd like Darren Till. But there are the Robert Whittakers, the Kelvin Gastelums, Marvin Vettori's. They're still out there. You're going to have to meet them again.
Marvin Vettori with the takedown. Kevin Holland fishing for an guillotine. And we're back in the card. So that was really, we didn't get to talk about it at the end of the first round, but Holland had actually a really nice sweep there. I think he bridged off the fence, landed on top, and then disengaged. Again, way better than the Derek Brunson fight. He was just sitting there talking, waiting for the referee stand up. He's actually doing something, and it looked like he might have been fishing for it again.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, that's great considering that Derek Brunson fight just recently happened and he looked like a fish out of water on the ground. But now he's a little bit more proficient, and I'm kind of shocked. Not shocked, but surprised that he was able to make some of these adjustments already. Because I know that's what he wanted to do. Yeah. Good for him.
Oh, that's a terrible camera angle with that microphone.
I know, I hate it. There we go. They switched it.
Are they not using the super cool HD walkout camera tonight?
The 4K camera?
Yeah, did they not use it tonight?
I guess not. Maybe is that only for like ESPN shows? But I mean, this is on ESPN, right? Or no, it's on ABC.
Plus and ABC, yeah.
I wonder if one of us was watching on ESPN Plus, would it have been different? Maybe.
Ooh, it's like a lot of work. Oh, look at that. Speaking of MMA fighting, Mike Heck.
Shout out to him.
How do you get on these? I ask every one of my co-hosts, and no one has an answer for me yet.
You know what it is about me? I'm very much an observer, so I don't tweet as much as I'd like to.
Just don't do it. Right? It's never worth it.
I can't do it. So whenever I do want to tweet something, and besides, I don't even use the hashtags for these fights. I just tweet, and people just know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to get on these damn broadcasts. It'd be great to do it, but I'm going to tweet like, great round for Kevin Holland, and see what happens.
Look, if you can utilize social media as a tool to like further your career, great. I personally am undersold on the value of MMA Twitter for someone looking for work in the structured world of MMA media. Like I don't, and I could be totally wrong, but I don't know how many of my reputable colleagues in this industry got their work because they were popping off on Twitter for anything other than the fact that they were able to break news and get high profile stories and guests, right? Like it's just not worth it. The potential upside of like making a lot of friends on MMA Twitter is not worth them all tearing you down on a moment's notice.
Oh, of course. Of course. That's why I'm just kind of very laid back from social media, but I'll post here and there. You want to talk horror movies? You want to talk MMA? I am your person to do that.
I had so many people mad at me on Facebook for writing that Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, like it or not, is the biggest thing in combat sports right now. And some people are just dense. I literally posted Google Analytics of how searches for Askren and Paul over the last 30 days are 7 to 8 times that of Masvidal, Usman, Joshua, Fury, and people just want to say no.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, a lot of people don't like McDonald's, but it's everywhere and it's very much consumed.
Right. It may not be your preference, but at the end of the day, that kind of stuff sells. And to be honest, I was not on the Askren Paul train at all. But now that I've been continuously exposed to it, I mean, I'm watching random YouTube videos, and the first ad that pops up is Snoop Dogg.
I get it for everything. It's a good ad. It's like a good ad.
Introducing the whole Askren fight. I'm like, damn, I think I want to buy this fight. I think I want to see the card. So
the ad is good. Every time I watch them, like I'm shocked I'm not bored of this ad yet.
Right? It's crazy. I think it's going to be a solid fight.
So
obviously, with MMA people, you kind of want to root for an MMA guy, but it should be interesting to say the least. Let's see what goes on.
So Holland's starting to look pretty tired. It was about 5 total minutes of control time for Marvin Vettori. Lots of top position, and Kevin Holland's left eye is pretty swollen.
It is looking damn near closed. I can't.
Herb Dean's taking a look at it too.
Oh no. That'd be a really crappy way to like stop this fight, just because I thought it was a good replacement fight.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad yet.
Yeah.
But if it gets worn on a little more, I do worry we're not going to see the full extent of this.
Well, that'd be unfortunate, but I will say Kevin Holland is looking a lot better than he did in the Derek Brunson fight. So I guess that would be like a feather in his cap, at least for as long as this fight continues to go.
Do you think the UFC is going to give Vettori the title shot if it's just 25 minutes of ragdolling? Because we see they normally prioritize the guy who they can throw onto a highlight reel, right?
Right. That's a great question. I mean, sometimes I base these decisions off of, oh, hold on, they're going to look at this eye. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. But also, like, fighter safety, I really want Kevin Holland to be able to see. Oh, hold on.
Can you see out of your eye? Okay.
So funny. So the doctor asks Kevin Holland. I didn't even really try to check. The referee the doctor asked Kevin Holland, "Can you see out of your left eye?" And then Holland just said, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
To which Herb Dean interjects, "Can you see?" And Kevin goes, "I can see you."
Right?
And that's it. No tests, none of this, none of this.
Just, I take your word for it. It's fine.
Because they don't really want to stop the fight, right?
No, they know how hectic things would get if they stop the fight for something like that. But again, I'm a proponent of fighter safety. So anyway, back to your original question. I sometimes operate under the guise of meritocracy. So I feel like if you have enough wins and you've looked good in getting those wins, you should definitely get a title shot if it is warranted. In the case of Marvin Vettori, potentially just ragdolling Kevin Holland for 25 minutes. I mean, it just depends. Also, I would like to factor in what he plans on saying and doing in his post-fight interview. He could definitely cut one hell of a promo, and that alone with such a dominating performance can potentially get him a title shot. But I guess we're going to have to see. And I wouldn't be upset if Dana and the UFC are just like, well, we're going to wait to see what happens with Whitaker and Gastelum to figure out what happened.
So Marvin Vettori with another on Marvin Vettori's side, I just noticed something really weird on the graphic there. But Marvin Vettori has to take down, this time lands in mount, has Kevin entirely spread out, hunting for an arm triangle choke. Someone was asking how Kevin Holland's looking. Better than the Derek Brunson fight, especially in round one, but as it's been going on, it's just gotten worse and worse. He's getting tired, he's getting labored, he's getting taken down more often, held longer, and it looks like he's about to get choked out with an arm triangle choke.
Oh my God, and there's a lot of time.
Yeah, Marvin's got to be patient here. This is the sort of choke that you can hold on to and just slowly tick it in. Worst thing you can do is just squeeze and gas your arms because you're in a position that the guy's probably not going to get out of. Just work your way low, get your shoulder low. And I think he might have rushed that a bit because he let go.
Yeah.
And we have Kevin Holland still in the fight.
Yeah, he's trying to get up. It looks like his legs are. I think he's trying to kick off the cage so he can get. Oh, we've gotten 2 north-south positions today. Yeah. Didn't expect that.
All right, Kevin rolls out back to his feet. Marvin at his back. Kevin hunted for Kimura, back standing. Marvin's doing a good job. He's just punching into range, getting the takedown, getting the grappling exchanges. Someone's asking if they think they're going to cut Kevin with a loss here. Nah, he did the UFC a huge solid by taking this, right?
Absolutely. You don't cut someone who went 5-0 in 2020, someone who lost early in 2021, but also took a short notice fight. You don't cut that person. Come on.
He, like in the Derek Brunson fight, Holland just seemed like willing to not engage or not improve position. Here he's looking tired. All of this weighing on him from Vettori, all these takedown attempts. He just looks exhausted. And it could be a consequence of only having a week to prepare, right? Yeah,
that. And I also wonder how much heavier is Marvin Vettori on fight night, right? Than like Derek Brunson? Because Derek Brunson still looks pretty lean on fight night. But I'd imagine like Marvin Vettori, if we're at 185, he has to be at least like 200, I want to say right now on fight night. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, guys, as we start to close out on round 3, if you want to help us out, help the channel grow, lots of little things you can do. Thumbs up, subscribe. Best way, leave a super chat donation. Any amount gets your question, comment, concern right on the air. You get your name on there, and you can talk shit about me. I'll read it. I'll do it.
I like that kind of host. I like that.
I once donated $50 with the proceeds going to our staff for Sean to tell me that I'm his role model, and he didn't read it. I was shocked.
That's not money well spent.
Not at all. I mean, it went to the staff, so that's fine.
Yeah,
but still.
But I mean, get your money's worth. All right.
Thank you to one of our stream viewers for subscribing to the channel. Very much appreciate that.
That's wonderful.
I mean, like Kevin Holland striking has looked good when it's happened. It just hasn't been happening. The first round, probably the first 4 minutes were on the feet. He was probably getting the better of the exchanges, landed early in the second, but Vettori is just punching into range, getting Kevin to the fence, and eventually getting the takedown for long periods of ground control. So it's basically what most of us expected this fight to be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Kevin rushing in with a bunch of punches, though.
Oh, that looked good. Oh, no, Marvin's like, nope, that didn't. Well, you know when they say that, it does.
It felt.
Oh.
Vettori looks like he might be a little staggered, and now Holland's rushing it.
Whoa, that was okay. Hold on now. The tide might be turning. Yeah. I might be premature in saying that, but he looked a little bit wobbly towards the end there.
Now, I don't know this for a fact. I should take a look at his like strike absorption rate on Fight Metric. But Marvin Vettori just looks like someone who can take a punch to the head.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, he could take a punch, but how about like multiple at the same time? You know, if Kevin can really get some going, his eye is looking pretty busted. But
see, this is what I'm talking about. Shout out to our staff writer, Colby Faria, who's basically paying the money that we're giving him back.
That's amazing.
Into Fightful. Wouldn't recommend it, but I thank you for doing so. Colby's the backbone of Fightful MMA. Yeah, that was true until he recently informed me that he got a second job and wouldn't be writing as much for us. So
how could you, Colby?
So it's a fractured backbone, but hey, go secure that bag. We love you. Go check out his work elsewhere.
I like that as a fight moniker. Colby the backbone. That's a great fight moniker.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Add it to the Twitter feed. Add it to the Twitter handle.
You're welcome. I'll take that $1.99.
Kevin's eye is looking worse. It looks like he has a second eyelid over his first eyelid.
Yes, that's a good way to describe it.
This is the sort of gore and grossness that Kristen King
I live for. Lives for.
That was a big punch. Marvin landed a hard straight left that backed up Kevin against the fence. And Kevin's just getting like wild and antsy, but it's working. I feel like it's accurate enough that he can afford to get a little crazy with it.
Is there a reach advantage here? Does Kevin have a couple of inches on Marvin, or is it somewhat the same?
I don't know about their personal lives, but I will find out whether or not Kevin Holland has a arm length advantage. You get what the execution was poor, but I think you understood what I was going for.
I got it. I just chose not to acknowledge it.
No, I think that's for the best, and I hope that no one else.
Light them up in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. That was terrible.
That was pretty bad. Okay, let's see. View matchup. How do you find the tail of the tape online? Tail of the tape.
Isn't it on what you call it? I want to say Tapology. Maybe it's there, but
you're gonna make me open two separate tabs to find out. All right.
I'm sorry.
All right. Fine. Kevin Holland, 6'3", 81-inch reach.
Okay.
Marvin Vettori, 6 feet, 74. Wow. So you're right. Kevin's got a 9-inch reach advantage there. But doesn't matter because we are back on the floor. Vettori grounds Holland. I love that he's scrambling. He's like somersaulting and Tony Ferguson attempting to Tony Ferguson his way out of these positions. But
he looks much more alive.
Yeah. I wish this was a kickboxing match, you know.
Oh my God, that'd be one to watch.
I shouldn't be greedy though. It was actually a rather good night of fights. Arnold Allen, Sadiq Youssef was fun. Sam Alvey, Julian Marquez, Nina Nunes, Mackenzie Dern.
Wonderful fight. Yes. And of course, Mike Perry and Daniel Rodriguez. Wow.
Chef's kiss.
Oh, come on.
Red fight.
I like how the commentary is just like every fight Mike Perry is in, his nose gets busted. And I'm like, you know what? You're not wrong.
No, I feel like once it happens, right?
You're right. It's always like this now.
All right. Kevin didn't make his way back to his feet, but he's been grounded. And this time, Marvin Vettori straight into mount. Grapevining Kevin Holland's legs. I'd love to see. I think it's important for Marvin Vettori to make a good impression here. Mm-hmm. Give up the posture a little bit and just go for the ground and pound. But here he is again, another arm triangle choke.
Oh. I don't know.
He just needs to take it slow. He's in an advantageous position. Mm-hmm. Kevin Holland gets the half guard. Marvin Vettori bails.
Now, I guess in terms of what happens next for each gentleman, do you think the way that Marvin approaches this fight is a good or a bad thing? Because we've seen Kevin Holland in this exact same position before. And I feel like if a lot of the fighters that take him on are just going to lay and pray, how good do you think that makes them look in the eyes of, you know, the UFC brass? Do you think they're going to take that into consideration, or should they have gone for it? What do you think?
Yeah, my worry is that Kevin Holland's ceiling is going to be like main card guy / prelim headliner, which is not a bad place to be. That's the sort of like, in terms of so action fights, quality, sort of Jim Miller-esque longevity in the sport. I say, you know, until you're ready to give Kevin Holland a legitimate rank test, just put him in fun striking matches. Like, maximize what he has to offer. He will be working on his takedowns and stuff. And then once you're ready to say, okay, he's got 5 more wins, we have to give him a ranked opponent, then let's see how he fares against a guy who's going to present these sort of challenges. For Marvin Vettori, again, don't think this sort of approach takes him a long way in terms of expediting him to a title shot. But the reality is, if he keeps doing this, and once he gets there, there is a built-in story. There is some doubt as to how good is he off his back. We know he's hard to take down, but once you do, how good is he off his back? So, I mean, at the end of the day, if this gets Marvin Vettori, this style eventually leads Marvin Vettori to a world title and a win over Israel Adesanya, why stop, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I just feel like, you know, in this age, everyone is so caught up in like the entertainment aspect. So this may not be the most exciting type of fight, but it is efficient enough for you to get the win. So for me, I'm fine with Marvin going this route. I mean, that's what you got to do to win, right? But I hope that no one steals his shine next week, or any other middleweights that may start knocking on that door. So hopefully this lay and pray approach I hope it's good for him.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think it'll serve him in the long run. It's a tough style to deal with, and this is sort of the fun thing about MMA. It's like every time you feel that there's a predominant style taking over the sport, something comes and kicks it out of the way, right? It was jiu-jitsu, then it was grappling, or then it was wrestling, then it was kind of Muay Thai, back to wrestling for a while. Then we saw a lot of kickboxing. Now it's still a lot of wrestling and sambo. And I like from division to division, the approach kind of changes, and it's nice to see that it appears that there's a lot of different variants of martial arts that can succeed at a high enough level if the rest of your game is elevated to a certain point, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Wow, I am for one shocked that we are in the 5th round of this fight. I can't say that. I did say that a unanimous decision could happen, but I thought Marvin would have a little bit more, will to stand here, especially since there's beef over bread, apparently. I don't know. Did you hear that story?
No, we could talk about it after. I'm so lost with all the different feuds that are going on around this sport.
It's too hard to keep up with sometimes.
The Schmo and Ariel, I thought that was a joke this whole time, and then the Schmo puts out like Kevin Holland hurts Marvin Vettori. Marvin shoots the double leg and gets it. Very nice response.
Oh my God. Listen, Kevin always has a chance at doing that. And as you saw, geez, he cracked him, didn't he?
What's your clock at right now, Kristen? My
clock is at 4:19 right now.
Okay. Mine jumped ahead a little bit, but it's okay. I will.
Boo.
What about now?
4:11.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. So at this point, 4 minutes left. Yeah. What is the likelihood in your mind that Kevin Holland somehow wins this fight? Are we in the 1% territory, the 0.25% territory?
I think we are in the 1%, just because his chance was at the beginning of the 5th round. I mean, he cracked Marvin Vettori. Let's be honest.
He did that to Derek Brunson too. Like, he is a good enough striker. And this is sort of the thing. When people make that Israel Adesanya comparison, the difference right now, from a total amateur's perspective, between Kevin Holland and Israel Adesanya is, let's say, and I don't think that's true, but let's say for sake of argument that their striking levels are relative to one another. Sure. If this is Izzy, here's the gap in takedown defense. And I don't think it's that far in terms of their scrambling. and their bottom game, but the takedown defense, Izzy's is just so much better.
Oh yeah.
And if you're not good enough to negate your opponent's attack, you're not going to be able to excel in your own offense, right?
Exactly.
Here we are. Another takedown. Kevin's getting up, but he's not able to break away.
Yeah. That's unfortunate because we did see a little glimmer of hope there for Kevin. We did see.
I don't mean to disrespect Marvin Vettori, but I think unless you want to do some combination of like, there's two ways I see this playing out. Either you're going to get some combination of like Derek and Marvin versus Costa and Cannonier, or you're going to get Derek Brunson and Marvin Vettori fight each other. That doesn't do as much for either guy in the division, but I'm actually kind of interested in seeing what that looks like because to this point, they've basically offered up identical fights against Kevin Holland. Same guy, same approach, both got cracked and were able to respond intelligently. That's the one I want to see because at this point, while I'm sure Derek Brunson will come in as the underdog because he always does, I have no idea based on this performance solely whether Vettori or Brunson is better at this stage.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Until you said it, I hadn't even thought about it. But that would be an excellent fight.
Man.
I know you're so good. But look, he's in full mount again, Marvin Vettori, and he is just laying and praying. You know how that goes. I get it. At this point, I'm like, just stop bullying him. Just posture up. Risk. There's such a little threat of you getting knocked out right now. Just posture up and try and punctuate this fight because it's going to go a long way to make your case. I know easier said than done. Yeah.
But like, you know, I don't know if you saw Ryan Bader at Lyoto Machida. What I liked about that fight, wow. Holland I'm surprised he can generate so much power. I guess his legs are long, so he can do a pretty high bridge.
Yes.
But he was able to bridge himself out of mount. Unfortunately, Vettori just right back to the double legs.
Nope. He's trying to get something as a
Von Flutschuk?
I doubt it. I don't think he has it.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the Bader Machida fight, but what I appreciated is like the last minute of that fight, Bader never gave up the position, but he was throwing some elbows. Like his entire coaching staff was like, finish this fight. There was no need for it. He was very obviously up 3-2 at minimum. But they were just like, just finish the fight. And I love that sort of attitude.
Yeah.
I wish Vettori would let go a little bit right now.
He has a couple seconds left to do it. I did not see. I thought Kevin was hurt or something.
Yeah, he was grimacing pretty hard.
Right. I did not see the Bader and Machida fight. I had to get over to RuPaul's Drag Race so I could see who's going to make it into the top 3.
And here's his chance. He's turtled. 10 seconds left. Body lock. Oh
my gosh.
Wow, that was fascinating. So Kevin Holland has his back taken. He walks his way to the fence, runs up the fence, and manages to twist himself back to a front-facing position. Fun.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
All right. I mean, leave it to Kevin Holland to do something like that. I'm not totally surprised that he did.
How are you scoring this fight, Kristen?
That is more than likely hey, relax. That is more than likely a 50, I want to say 45. I think Marvin handily won those. Yeah. Excuse me.
I think your dog disagrees with this.
He heard the mailman. Excuse me. Hi. Shh. Relax, okay?
Yeah, I know. My dog is the exact same. When trying to wean it out of her with mixed success.
Man. Oh,
the best was she was here for my podcast the other day, and I was tossing her treats off camera periodically to keep her kind of like relaxed. And then one got stuck under my desk, and I had to like mid podcast get on the floor for 30 seconds. And
oh no!
Or else she would just keep banging on this side, rattling my whole setup here.
Hate when that happens. Are you finished now? I think he's done. It's just the mailman. Hey, relax, buddy. It's always the small dogs too. All right.
Oh, it's always the small dogs.
Right?
Tell me about it.
Stop it with your big man complex. Relax. All right, let's see.
So I think we're both going 50-45 here, right?
Yeah.
All 3 judges scored this contest 50-44.
Oh, 50-44.
Okay.
I've learned to stop like submitting my scores when I'm doing watch-alongs because half the time we're talking about things that have nothing to do with the fight.
Right.
And for some reason, I still want the clout, even though I mostly just get the smoke.
Right. I know. And to be honest, I will say that I was a little bit worried about the judging tonight because some of the fights that they've been handing out
right?
oh my God, super weird. I'm like, there's no way these are split decisions. What was that one earlier in the prelims that I was like, oh,
John
no.
McDessie versus someone whose name I can't pronounce?
No, not even Ignacio Bahamondes. Not
wow. Say that again.
Ignacio Bahamondes.
Wow. Bahamondes. I like it.
Yeah. It was another fight that was a split, and I was like, that is the wrong split. Was it a debuter? Hold on.
There was one incident where it was like 2 30-27s and a 29-28, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it was very odd.
All right, guys. While Kristen King shores that up. Oh, so shout out to Ron Patel because he's such a generous, Fightful supporter. We'll give him a pass of the super chat donation today. Am I in a different place? No, but I will show you. I'll give you a little behind the scenes look. We've built a little portable set behind me. So when you zoom out, you can see the ends of it. But yeah, we shout out to my old man, helped me build this, and it's a work caprogress. Gonna try and get some like remote control multicolored light bulbs so we can like change the background color, get a little Kairos MMA effect going on here.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, work in progress. I mean, I just put up random stuff for now. Shout out to my Pokemon plushies. But the idea is, because I do stuff in entertainment, I do stuff in MMA, that we can swap in and out the set pieces to work out with whatever we're doing. We can change the color based on what company I'm working for. Maybe get like a logo. I have this like idea, get like a cube with each company's logo on one side, put it on the shelf, and then just turn it when it's time. There's plans.
I like that. So the fight I was referring to earlier, could you stop? Hold on, my dog just fell off the couch. Hey, are you okay? Okay. I think he's okay. Anyway, it was the Luis Saldana fight and the Jordan Griffin fight. I was pretty sure. Yeah, I thought Jordan Griffin got that, but
yeah, obviously.
Apparently not.
What are you gonna do, right? Okay, guys, this is the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Kristen King, I know you're not tweeting much, but let the people know how they can keep up with all the latest and greatest.
You can definitely find me on Twitter when I am active at Kristen King MMA. I'm going to point, where is it? There it is, Kristen King MMA. You can find me there. You can find me on Bloody Elbow as well. I write over there. And yeah, hopefully Shaq will invite me back, which I'm pretty sure he will, but we'll see.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, thank you for accepting this invitation. All it took was me giving you more than 24 hours notice. I will make sure to do the same next time.
Point that out to these people. This is short notice Shaq. This is his name. Short notice Shaq.
Wow, if that ain't the truth. If that ain't the truth. Shout out to everyone for joining us today, for the super chat donations, just for being so pleasant. I know this pandemic is slowly on its way out, but it's really nice to have everyone here together. Hopefully it's something we keep up when this is all put behind us. You can follow me on Twitter at Shaq_Fu. That's Shaq with a K. You see it right there. If you haven't already, hit thumbs up, subscribe, Fightful MMA. Traffic's been really going up, so thank you guys so much for that. Got a lot of fun content on the way, a lot of media picks coming next week. Till then, time for that crappy outro, so stay tuned for everything Fightful and so delightful. Peace out.